The first stage of a failure mode and effect analysis, or FMEA, involves assigning rankings for severity, occurrence, and detection to the effects of each risk your organization or project faces. Each ranking uses a 10-point scale, with 1 being the lowest ranking and 10 the highest. Everyone on your team must be on the same page to ensure consistent rankings, so always make sure to establish the scales before you start the ranking process. Begin by assigning a severity ranking. This ranking estimates how serious the effects would be to your project if a potential risk or failure mode occurs. Previous similar experiences can mean that it's sometimes clear how serious an effect would be. In other cases, it may not be so clear, and you may need to rely on the knowledge and expertise of your team to estimate the severity. Bear in mind that a risk or failure mode can have a number of different effects, and each effect can have a different level of severity. Remember, you rate the effect, not the risk. The next step involves assigning an occurrence ranking. Figure out how likely it is that a risk effect will occur and at what frequency. Look at projects that are similar to your current one and review any risk and failure logs that have been kept for them. You can estimate how frequently the risk effects will occur if actual failure data isn't available. Again, use a scale of 1 to 10 to rate each risk effect, with effects that never occur or only occur occasionally receiving a low ranking. Risk effects that occur frequently or are inevitable get a higher ranking. For the last step, assign a detection ranking to measure the likelihood that a risk and its effects will escape detection. To get started, identify the controls that are currently in place to detect each risk or failure. Typical controls might include quality control, testing, and inspection cycles. If there are no controls in operation, risks are unlikely to be detected, and each risk effect will receive a high ranking, such as a 9 or 10. However, if your organization has strong controls in place, a risk effect is likely to be detected and will receive a low ranking, such as a 1 or a 2. In a perfect world, your team would agree on the severity, occurrence, and detection rankings you assign. If your team can't reach agreement, however, look for ways to achieve consensus. You can employ team voting, involve a process expert in the debate, or rank risks and effects relative to each other to clarify the situation. Assigning rankings allows you to rate the severity of a risk's effects, its likely occurrence, and the likelihood it will be detected, helping you to decide on the action to take to prevent or counter any threats to your organization.